Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. I want to talk about Kingdom Hearts. I haven't talked about this series in a long time. I feel like I haven't been talking about this series since 5 years. To be honest, it feels that long. It feels that long. I love the Kingdom Hearts series. I know those haters, those people that hate the series because it has Disney characters on it. Even though the reason we have Kingdom Hearts to begin with is because obviously Disney heard Nomura saying that, hey, mainly, I want to give you a little bit brief history with this. Disney was telling Nomura what to make, and Nomura was pissed off because they were giving him kitty shit. And Nomura literally said, I will not make such games. And Disney was pissed at Nomura. He literally was telling Disney, hey, I want people to think that these characters are badass instead of thinking that they're just for children. And Disney was pissed off. But one of the executives at Disney were listening to Nomura and they were like, you know what? He's right. He is right. Because believe it or not, if you know your freaking history about film or animation in general, and if you're not ignorant or being dumb or blinded to hatred, you will actually understand and overstand that adults actually watch old classic Disney cartoons. They went to the theater to watch old Mickey Mouse cartoons, and some of them were outright dark and brutal, and sometimes Mickey was a dick. I forgot a lot. There's a clip when he's like smacking Minnie Mouse's ass and just lifting the panties and smacking, and that smacks her too, and she cries and he's laughing at her. And I'm like, what's that Mickey Mouse? To be honest, I want to know that Mickey Mouse. How come that Mickey Mouse is not in freaking Kingdom Hearts? To be honest, the Mickey Mouse that we see that's promoted is not like the Mickey Mouse that you see in Kingdom Hearts, in my opinion. That's just me, man. The Kingdom Hearts and Epic Mickey is literally not the Mickey that we see that's promoted. Seriously. But I don't want to get into a Mickey Mouse thing. It's just something to point out. It's just like I know you guys can hate Kingdom Hearts. You could say it's not for you, and that's fine. There's some games I heard that are not for me, like Call of Duty. I just don't play Call of Duty, and that's fine. If you play, that's fine. It's not because you're dumb, not because you're stupid. It's not because you're smarter and I'm smarter or you dumb. No, it's not that. It's just that we all play different games. If you like it, you like it. I'm not gonna bitch about anybody that likes it. If you like it, you like it. You know, if you hate it, yeah, point out that you don't like it, and that's fine, man. No one's not gonna, you hate it, you hate it. Just let other people enjoy shit. Um, that's how I felt with some of the haters with the Kingdom Hearts. It's like I get why you hate it. Then when you go overboard, it's like, dude, calm the fuck down. But moving on. I haven't talked about the series in a while, mainly because ever since Kingdom Hearts 3, I literally had a marriage with this game. I was happy, married it, basically, fucked it, but played it, basically. That's what fucking means. In video game terms. Played it, was 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 pissed at some of the stuff, but still enjoyed myself, and then was happy by the end, basically. And then I started really thinking about it, and then I saw other videos about it. And at first, I thought it was a good game until I really thought about it more. And obviously, I saw other people talking about it too. Obviously, I saw more people more talking about it, because they were pointing out the things about it, things that I was thinking about too. And when that was happening, I was just like, I'm like, yeah. And then this happened. And then that happened. Wait a minute. The fuck? The reason I didn't get pissed during the gameplay is because it was a marriage type of thing. And it's one of those things that it was blinded to a point. Yeah, it was. It was blinded to a point. Same thing how people felt with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Without Kingdom Hearts 3 teaching me that lesson, I would have known the bullshit about Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I have to thank Kingdom Hearts 3 for that. Kingdom Hearts 3 had to be the bullshit game that it is, so I can see the bullshit out of what Square Enix is doing right here. And I already was seeing bullshit, but once that bullshit connected more to Kingdom Hearts 3 that affected the quality of their shit, that's when I was like, okay. Because there was a time when Final Fantasy was fucking depleting, and it still is. And some people were like, you know what, at least we got Dragon Quest and Kingdom Hearts. And now Kingdom Hearts is just gone. Literally, Square Enix, it's like Square Enix heard that in the Astro Realm, and they were like, you thought. And I know they can't touch Dragon Quest, because that's their moneymaker. And trust me, Japan will destroy them if they ever fuck up Dragon Quest. It only takes one game. Only takes one game. If we get a Dragon Quest game that ended up like Final Fantasy 15 or Kingdom Hearts 3, that should say everything right there. That should say everything right there. The fact that if that doesn't click in your head of what that says, I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. I don't know what type of drugs or what type of fumes you're smoking, smelling. Because if that doesn't connect, oh, you have a dead brain. You're probably a robot at that point. A zombie. But I love this series. I do. And it did introduce me to some Final Fantasy characters. It did. And I always told myself, why not put Dragon Quest characters in there? When I was a teenager, I was like, that'd be cool if they put a Dragon Quest character in there. Put the first hero. He doesn't have to talk. Sora and Donald and Goofy can make fun of saying that, oh, he's just a silent type. That's really it. But he always, would text you every time something was bad going to happen to you. Boom, he was right there. Because he was the hero. That is what he is. You're Sora. You're just traveling along with Donald and Goofy, man. Come on. It writes itself. It writes itself. And that's frustrating sometimes when it comes to like video games and movies. When it writes itself and they don't do shit, it's like, are you dumb? Or you just don't care and you want to piss people off? And if that's the case, you're a succubus. You're what was it? An incubus. You just don't care for just pissing off people, and that's sad. I'm sorry. I'm tired of that. I'm 28 years old. That shit's tiring, man. Grow up. Grow up. Make a good quality game and move on and make money and shut the fuck up, basically. Come on. It's 2021. We're not in the 50s and 40s anymore. Grow the fuck up. And I'm telling not just companies, but people in general. Good Lord. It's sad. It affects qualities of movies and games, man. It does. Not every company's like this. Not everybody's like this, but fuck. There's a majority of them that fuck some shit up, sometimes in real life. But I'm not getting into that. The one thing I do want to say, too, that sometimes, most of the time, actually, no, all the time, 100%, nature takes them out because they can't survive out in the wild. And that happens with animals too. I hope you know that. That's why when some parents, like some animal parents, leave their child behind and defend on their own. If they can't defend on their own, that's it. They're done. That shit's gonna happen soon in real life, by the way. That's coming for a person that is in tune and spiritual with themselves, that actually cares about their brothers and sisters. But I'm not getting. That's another story for another day. This is about Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts. If you do see in a higher perspective of view, ooh, to be honest, it's one of the best video games of all time that does that. And I'm talking about this. But If you don't know that, then you're gonna see this as like complete shit. And Kingdom Hearts 3 to me was complete shit. Story wise, character wise, and the thing is, narrative wise, when you compare to the other games, you literally changed a whole bunch of shit. And other people had to complain about that too with other games. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't disagree with you. I would never disagree with that. It's like almost changing the law of Batman. Are you crazy? Batman was created the day on that alley. He was born when someone died innocently. Either it was Bruce Wayne himself or his parents. Someone had to die to have Batman be born. The fact of the matter is, there would still be a Batman, basically. That's the difference between what Kingdom Hearts did not do. You know? And that's the fucked up part. And that's what made me not care about the series anymore. Made me push back. I'm done. And then the whole freaking, what was it? Remake DLC that pushed me off even more. And then the whole freaking Remedy game that came out with Kyrie. And you still played as Sora, but not Kyrie. Even at by the end, Sora saves Kyrie so he can fight Xehanort. And I'm just like, Kyrie never gets a spotlight. She's in the cover of the game and you don't play as her. Wow. Wow. There's an old saying that some people say Nomura probably hates her. Like the character. Who knows? Maybe she does, but does it really make sense? Did he make that character? If he did, it makes no sense. And if he wanted that if he wanted that for that character, dude, it's terrible. That's terrible. Maybe he thought it would be funny, but for the fans, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. I was screaming at the screen like, you're the worst character in video game history. Princess Peach had her own fucking video game, and she was badass in that game. No, she wasn't. She was crying tears and making flowers grow. That's badass. Can you cry and make plants grow literally while you're crying? No, you can't. So shut the fuck up. She's literally the last airbender in that game, Peach. Man, like, people just want to see one thing, and that's it. That's all they want to see. Yep, that's my perspective. That's it. Nothing's changed. And if anyone sees differently, fuck them. No one has never told you never leave no stones unturned. No one's ever told you that. You have to look. You have to pick up every stone, but that's probably too much for you because that's too hard for you. That's lazy. That's very lazy. Very lazy. That's like almost picking up a book and not reading other books. I don't understand the masses, man. The individual, understands and knows what they want from a video game or a movie. But when it comes to the masses, they don't know what the fuck they want. Okay? It's the same thing with other stuff. With, again, like I point out with movies. When certain movies want to cater to the audience, the general public, I'm like, fuck the general public. They don't know what the fuck they want. I've said this before on this channel. Fuck the general public. They don't know what they want. They never do and they never will. That's why. Whatever, man. But when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, this franchise has. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I will play a game again, but not. Maybe not the next game, or the next after that. I don't know when I will go back to playing Kingdom Hearts again, guys. I feel the same way with Final Fantasy. There's no. Square Enix has showed me that they don't care. They're done with these games. They're done. They've done what they can do. So what they're doing now is whatever. If you like it, cool. You don't, move on. Here are these games that we're actually putting effort to. The world ends with you. Um, what is it? Dragon Quest. And I'm like, okay, fine. If you're doing that, you know what? Then I go with you. I feel like the people that know how to tell a story are looking at Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, and they're not getting those opportunities to do it. And they're like, you know what? Let's do these. And the people that want a good story will follow us. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, we will. We will. We'll follow you, man. Because that's what we want. We want good story, good characters, and not be treated like a fucking dumbass. So much so that these companies, including Rockstar, have treated the consumer and the player such a fucking piece of shit that I don't give a fuck if I don't give a fuck if I um share my game on this so people can play. I don't care if I don't. I'm making my own game so I can play it all by myself. There's that. At that moment, I told myself, you know what? I have RPG Maker. I'm making my own games for myself. Fuck these companies. They don't know what I want. They don't know what they don't know what. They don't know what the fuck to do. They don't know what the fuck to do. They're stuck. But the ones that are not, we're following them and we're buying their games. You know? And that's the best part about the silver lining. If there is a happy ending to this story. And there is. There's indie developers that, you know, it's almost like when we get beaten down, imagine Rockstar and imagine Rockstar and Square Enix beating the fuck out of you, and you're dead in the ground, and you're like, oh, these games can't. This company, they don't care for me. And then you see a horizon of indie developers holding a flag, being like, nah, man, we got you. We got you. And you're like, why am I not doing this? You know? That's just me, man. That's just me. This is what these companies like Square Enix, Rockstar have done. And not just video games, movies también. Not to say there's not good movies out there. Again, games too. But when you have companies like these, you're just like, nah, I'm done. I'm making my own game. And I don't care if I sell it or not. It's for me. And if I ever do sell it, cool. If I don't, I don't care. It's for me. The reason I made it is to make sure I don't play your sorry ass game.